Gaming is massive. Esports is global. From Seoul to Rio de Janeiro. From small bedrooms to massive arenas. From your very first game to your biggest victories. This is our world, our digital city. Millions play, millions watch. A global movement shaped by players, driven by passion, powered by its culture and community.
I am Arminas, head of Reloader. We love gaming, we live esports. Welcome to our venture.
We're Team Reloader. Our mission is simple. Give players what they've always deserved: rewards, respect, and recognition. This isn't just about features, it's about the culture we live and the community we build. Play more. Chase goals. Build your legacy.
Lock, load, and reload. It's Reloader. Things are just starting.
Hello and welcome everybody back to another day of Valorant here with the Ascend Breakpoint series. I'm K-Man, joined by Zach for the second day of the tournament. And Zach, we found some pretty big talent in the games yesterday. Obviously, there were a couple of one-sided series, but today we certainly have another matchup that is looking to be a real contest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been exciting. Like you mentioned, we did have a forfeit in our first game thanks to tech issues. So unfortunately, it's not going to be happening. But luckily, we do have our second best of three happening for today, and it's going to be with some familiar faces. I think Kayman might have mentioned it, but yeah, it is going to be ItsMeViko, who we saw play in, I believe it was the Pulsar XWAmers Showdown. They were one of the grand finalists, and they're going to be going up against DUPG. So there is no no one's choosing opponents here. This is one of the teams that was one of the brackets that was randomly drawn. So it's not going to probably be the same as the last time, but I'm pretty excited to see what it's going to look like.
Hello? Is it working?
All right. I think it should be a bit better.
Okay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're not too sure what happened there, but yes, we are here and ready to go for another series. As we said, a little blooper there at the start. It's all good. We'll move past and we'll get into the match very, very shortly. But it should be a very, very good game today. I mean, obviously, we've got two very high-quality teams here. I believe, you know, from what I was getting told, ItsMeViko, very, very strong team indeed. One of the favorites here at the moment to take out this tournament. So I'm excited to see how they're going to go.
100%. Yeah, I mean, ItsMeViko. They might not have been able to come out on top in the Breakpoint Championship, even though they did have that 2-map lead. But this is where they can kind of, the WAmers Showdown. This is kind of where they can find some revenge, you know, try to go up against the team that they lost to in the first place, and even do a little bit better towards like the deeper run here. This is after all still like that upper quarterfinal, so not sure how far exactly they're going to be able to make it, but it does look like it's going to be a banger game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will go quickly into the format here just to make sure everybody who is watching is up to speed on the tournament. Obviously, we did already have the qualifiers leading into this event, which we can see. We had two qualifiers, in fact, coming through. And then obviously there was the last chance qualifier also. Yeah, I mean, look, it has been a very, very good tournament. The lead up has been great, and we do have some excellent teams here ready to play for the grand prize today. So there is, well, not today, but in the whole tournament. But Zach, it certainly is going to be a bit of a difficult way back for anyone who goes down to that lower bracket, because we know that traditionally speaking, once you go into that lower bracket, it's very hard to pull off the win.
True, and there's just no room for error at that point. You have to be careful of every single map, every single point or round that you play. So it definitely adds to the pressure as well. So if you can continue making your way to the upper bracket, it's definitely gonna be very helpful there. But if just in case that's not the case, it will be much more difficult, I would say. So yeah, I think that it's definitely gonna be important to continue to get that dominance in the upper bracket and leave yourself more room to just kind of understand what your opponents are doing, what works out for you, and of course, if you're in that upper bracket, you're also gonna have a little bit more of buffer between the games. If you're in the lower bracket,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to play games every day. So yeah, lots of reasons there. Either way, though, I think we have our map beat already for our best of 3 for today. So let's see where the series is gonna be taking us. I mean, they're showing split, but the first map that we're seeing banned is also split. So I'm very disappointed. I would like to cast some split. It's been a while.
Yes, Split and Abyss being taken out. Very, very interesting map vetoes to come through. Corrode and Haven, though, getting picked. We saw this plenty of times. So it looks like this is a bit of a favorite map for this region. They love playing the Corrode and the Haven, but this time, instead of a Pearl third map, it's going to go to Sunset if we go all the way. But Corrode and Haven to start, definitely two maps that we've seen plenty of. So I'm interested to see what these teams come prepared with.
100%. Yeah, I think there's a lot that you could definitely do, and it should be interesting to see who is going to come out on top, especially with that map number 1 being Corrode. Like you mentioned, we saw a couple of dominant games of Corrode coming out the other day. I think we were on desk for that one, and I don't remember the score, but I think it was like a 13-3 or something like that, a very dominant showing. So yeah, I mean, it's a repeat of what we saw yesterday in yesterday's quarterfinal. It is going to be Corrode and Haven, just the order reversed, with Sunset being that decider. So I mean, I'm not sure if it will go to Sunset, because I think that despite Haven being picked by ItsMeViko, I think Corrode is also one of the maps that they have proven to be good on in the past, and yeah, the Humble Gang definitely has to step up big.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're going to be up against it. We did mention that. Obviously, the favorites, or one of the favorites in this matchup with ItsMeViko, definitely is going to be a tough one when you are the underdogs. But hey, listen, the other, flip side of that is that when you are considered, not the favorites, not expected to win, there's no pressure. There's no pressure or expectation, a little bit of freedom, and perhaps, being a more underrated team, maybe one of the teams that players haven't paid too much attention to, they could come out with a few different strategies to really upset the momentum here and come out strong. And look, I'll be honest with you, they are, obviously going on to their map pick first. So obviously another advantage for them to start the series.
100%, but it is going to be them heading over to that first map of Corrode. I do think we have our agents ready to go. So let's take a look at what these teams have been picking for this particular series. Ooh, okay. You're going to have that controller come in for DUPG. It is their map. They've got ME2K on the Neon as their solo duelist, but on the opposite side, it's single controller. You've got Papa playing that Rise, and of course, the double duelist combo, LF and Venka. I mean, Venka is expected as a duelist, but it seems like ItsMeViko are still like swapping around, agents and duelists, having a little bit of fun, I would say. Well, I think that looking at this agent combo, at least, it should be it's Viko who I'm not sure I would say they have an edge, because the control is definitely going to be a little bit more difficult to see what exactly, because with the Viper it's going to be much more difficult. I think we should be ready to head into game pretty soon. We're just working on some technical stuff. So
yeah, hello. I don't know if you can hear me at the moment, but it seems like hopefully things are getting on track. I'm not too sure what's going on.
I don't know if it's tech issues, but yeah, we have a little bit of a break. But we can talk about the agent comps while we wait. So what do you think about what we're seeing, Cayman, so far?
It should be an interesting, agent select here. Obviously, we have seen that theory with the Neon on the map yesterday, which, I'll be honest with you, is pretty effective, right? Able to take the early space, being able to get through... Oh, sorry, no, it did go pretty well. It was able to stop the double duelist, but when they're coming up against a tournament favorite, maybe we're going to see slightly better timings, maybe some entries here that could give this defense a bit more trouble.
Yeah, I think the point about the defense definitely struggling is real. And yeah, I think the comp could go either way. I mean, looking at DUPG, they definitely do have more of that mid control. They also do have a lot of anchor capability with the Vice coming in. But yeah, on the opposite side, very, very aggressive comp, the Yoru as well as the Neon to start things off here. And I mean, well-known players on both teams for sure. NV2K, I think he spent a little bit of time with I think with GE Academy, if I'm not wrong. I feel like the name's familiar. I've seen him play for a couple of teams in the past, but it's Me Viko, again, a team that has been around for a while in the South Asian scene, and they look to continue their dominance, or at least their victory streak during the off season. It is going to be DUPG starting off on this attacking side. They already do have that Viper wall committed towards mid, looking for a little bit of control towards it perhaps, and it looks like they want to slowly work their way into this B side. There's no Vice wall quite here. The peek on the flash though is perfect. The shot's not so much, and oh my god, Techno's already inside Venka, ready to re-clear this as well with the Sheriff, and actually finds the headshot.
Wow, what a great angle being played there. A little trade back in towards mid though. He's going to make it a 3v4 scenario here. It's definitely going to be interesting to see whether or not the attackers can recover those numbers, as Health, it looks like, in a bit of trouble. We'll have to back up for now, but manages to survive as the Neon and get a little bit more information here as the attackers try and work their way up mid, potentially looking to split in towards A.
Health is so good here. So I think it's going to be a complicated fight to try and win out. He's just playing for the information. He's just playing for time, and time is definitely ticking for sure. The clock almost down to 30 seconds. They have to go for a commit here. A-Star still watching for a rotation, but nobody from the side of ItsMeViko is rotating to mid. Max finally finds a kill. Hoax goes down, and it's just Helef on this side to try and defend. Today he summoned over the rotation, but look at this. They're actually going towards the B side instead, and it's completely empty. They should be able to get the spike down. There's nobody home from this defender side. The play works.
Yeah, great fake indeed. They've just completely sold that A hit, and that does give the advantage back towards the attackers. 3v3 scenario where they do have that health advantage. So very, very nice fake, but they've got to try and convert now. The time is on their side with the spike ticking, and as we did say, that Neon being so low, it's going to be critical that a trade can come through, as it looks like they are going to try and have a little bit of a 2-1 split on the retake, but health's already gone.
Sheriff in hand. Time is ticking. They still have to go through, and there's just so many angles left to clear. 2v3 at that. There's a player on site. Venka able to possibly find that first kill, but yeah, the crossfire too much to break through it. It's Me Viko. They lose the pistol. DUPG pull it back after a 2-man deficit. And really nice fake and calling overall to be able to win this pistol. Got to give them a little bit of a head start. And yeah, just really good positioning from them overall. Max in particular being able to catch the kill on the rotate. All the noise being made towards the A side itself, and just Helef hearing all that noise and summoning his team over. Really nice play.
Yeah, 100%. Very nicely done here. The attackers getting the pistol round win is going to be crucial for them to try and convert on this next. We can already see the Outlaw is coming out. We saw the power of that yesterday. This weapon is very dangerous in the right hands, but 4 players marked towards the A side is huge information to start off for ItsMeViko.
They get the info, and off the back of it, a bit of a slowdown here from DUPG. They know they have the weapons. They don't want to risk getting thriftied. Not a pretty look for any team. And it seems like, once again, they want to use this Viper ult to work that mid area.
There.
Envy already able to push up, take some space towards mid, scale up a decent amount. Looking for a little bit more, but nobody from ItsMeViko is really playing aggressive. In the meantime, you've got the Outlaw watching all of these angles towards A main. You've got the Bucky positioned as well. Helif could be the lifesaver here if they go in through this choke point. 3 players ready for the fight.
Yeah, you can see the idea was from the attackers there to try to pivot back towards mid and really sell a rotate to get rid of this stack, but it hasn't seemed to work. We'll see whether or not they can survive. It looks like the Bucky is going to deliver the first pick, but it is traded back in the end. NV2K getting one, but the Bucky just will not go down.
Outlaw versus Bucky, not a fight you want to be in, especially if you're at close range. And yeah, D1 roll is just saying, I'm gonna roll back this a little bit. Spike dropped as well. Bucky's still sitting on it, and the lurk as well catches out A-Star. Oh my god, it's Me Viko. They start the round with the Bucky and 4 pistols. They somehow manage to win it through. Techno not afraid to peek the Outlaw. It doesn't matter if he has armor or not. And not only is it a thrifty, ItsMeViko keep 4 players alive, which means that they steal all of the guns that were dropped, including the Bulldog, the Outlaw, and the rest of the team is going to have more than enough money to buy these rifles as well. So just a brutal round that completely fell apart here.
Yeah, for sure. 1-1 being the score, and that is really going to hurt the economy here for DUPG. Obviously, you lose that second round, and any advantage you got from the pistol kind of becomes irrelevant. It's essentially flipping it around. ItsMeViko almost on a bonus round of their own at the moment because, as you said, 4 players alive. They're able to recover so many weapons, but we'll see whether or not they can flip things around here. The attackers, though, have already lost plenty of players. It is a bloodbath in B main.
So many lives lost, and the remainder of DUPG are being hunted down as well. Hopes and King Kampa converge on them. The crunch play perfect, and once again, it's Me Viko. 4 players left alive. Economy starting to really build up right now. It might be time to bring out the big guns, including that operator that we've seen before from this team. And well, DUPG, I mean, they tried for sure, but it just didn't look like they were going to be able to do anything with the buy that they had. Now, though, they're going to have the money. They're going to have a full buy. They do have some ults charging up, including that Omen ult from Hybrid. Not exactly the ultimate that you usually prioritize, but yeah, he's been able to get it online in round number 4. So could be a useful tool for rotation or information. But overall, I think that it's Me Viko. They look so convincing. Look at this.
Ooh. Nice start, though. Rollins getting the first blood. And a good trade, though, from the defense. And yeah, you are going to speak about that Omen ultimate. We'll talk about it in a second as it looks like another player goes down. A-Star just isolated, taken out. Max can't get the pick over towards Venka. That operator just singing out. And King Kappa attempting to stay alive here, forced into a crunch. And now it's a 2v3 situation. The attackers, I don't have the numbers, but possibly they could isolate another pick here.
Last player
You need to. Helif, though, on the rotation, actually able to catch out Hybrid, and yeah, V2K stunned into oblivion, caught in between that crossfire, goes down, and once again, it's Me Viko. They win the round here, completely shut down the push. No opportunity to get the spike down either for DUPG, so there's not gonna be any extra money in the bank, and they managed to conserve this operator as well that was in the hands of Venka. So one more thing for DUPG to worry about. This team hasn't even brought out the Odins yet. It's just been like normal guns so far, and DUPG once again gonna be on the back foot when it comes to the buy. Sheriffs in hand, doing their best. By the way, it's not DUPG, it's DUPG, my bad. I will say DUPG for the rest of the game. I feel like DUPG sounds cooler though, but that's just me.
Trying to rebrand them already after 4 rounds. Come on now, let's give them a chance in this series now. But it has been very, very good to see here from the defense immediately bouncing back and punishing that eco they got so early on to ruin their opponents' economy, and really just having a bit of a chokehold on the match now with the operator online. It's always interesting to see an early operator buy come through because it lasts some very, very early questions of the attackers. What is going to be your pivoting strategy? Obviously, sometimes the operator comes out later in the half as kind of another resort, a bit of a, a bit of a curveball, if you will, but it looks like straight up, Viko want to get on this operator line very early. And with the Yoru as well, being able to teleport around the map is so vital because as soon as you shoot out that first shot, you want to be able to reposition and present another threat somewhere else on the map.
100%. All of those are great points. And Yeah, I mean, it's just got so much. It just takes so much resource, so many resources to be able to. First of all, you got to figure out where the operator is, and then you got to clear it out with a fade util or a flash or whatever. And again, like you mentioned, the Yoru can just TP out, so there's no guarantees that you're going to even be able to get that fight and isolate the character because Yoru could just TP out of that conflict. And I mean, this you also look at the lineup here coming in from ItsMeViko. They've got so much utility, not just for retakes, but also proactive attacks. They've been definitely getting proactive. We saw it in that previous round. Double push on both A and B main to try and catch out the players. So far, DUPG have just been going for these defaults, been going for a bit of a slower gameplay style, and despite having the Viper, they haven't really been working mid. Sure, you see them rotate towards mid after they lose their duels in A or B, but apart from that, it's mostly been them looking for a pick from ItsMeViko, and ItsMeViko constantly taking these 2v1 and 2vx's duels.
Yeah, the only thing I could say maybe would, be the strategy behind trying to contact so heavily into the mains is obviously we just talk about the Yoru, right? The gate crash being so vital. Maybe they're trying to bait it out and then work towards mid afterwards, so that way obviously a bit of utility is going to be used up and perhaps the other side of the map will be less stacked, but yeah, they haven't seemed to find that timing. I'm not too sure what that pause was for, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously it was paused, but we are back in live, and I mean, the other concern here for the attackers for DUPG is going to be the fact that after this round, some ultimates could be online. So it's really important they can try and do as much damage to the economy as they can here in this round. Maybe get a spike plan and give themselves a real chance of getting this second round on the board.
Renka, though, again, strikes with the op. That's once again first blood in favor of ItsMeViko. They've got the paranoia as well to go in for the contact play, and they are happy to just swing through. Hybrid at least able to find the trade off the back of that Viper Molly, but immediate refract to come through, and it's just going to be the Neon. What can you really do here?
No.
Helif just going for the damage, gets the stun, knows that Rollins is there, and knows that Rollins is dead as he puts him in an early grave. ItsMeViko get to a 4-1 start, and now, I mean, DUPG, they've got the economy. They've started charging up these ultimates. They're close to at least getting perhaps that Viper's Pit or the sorry, not the Viper's Pit, the Nightfall or the Steel Garden from Rollins online. If they can kind of win this round off their full buy and then try to conserve those ults for further rounds, they could possibly try to stem the momentum that ItsMeViko have gotten for themselves. But ItsMeViko, they've got a couple of ults ready to go as well. One off Techno's Steel Garden, one off Techno's Nightfall, and a couple off of the Steel Garden for Kappa. They already do have the Overdrive ready to go, so in a tight spot, of course, the Neon gonna be even more of a menace. Look at this, though. Talking about the Neon, they've already taken space, and Rollins has been pushed so far back right now.
Yeah, you can see towards mid though. Venka was trying to find a timing with that operator through the smoke. Got found out though. Will be taken down here. His health is going to get a bit of support there from Techno. They will trade things back in the end, but they have traded picks and lost mid. The defense under a bit of pressure, and that from the shadows towards back of B.
Oh,
he's going to get shut down.
And he hears all of this noise. Techno with the trigger discipline, along with Helif. They've been the defenders of this A side. It doesn't matter what angle you approach it from, you are going to be shut down. It is just going to be A-Star right now on the lurk. Was able to find that first kill. Able to get a second, but yeah, while Helif jumps around, King Kappa happy to swing in and get the trade. There, ItsMeViko continuing to put up just an impossible defense to break through.
Classic Neon gameplay there, just, sort of that selfless role, just jumping around going, guys, you swing, I'll distract them, and very, very nice team play coming out, and yeah, 5-1 now is the score. Obviously, a little bit more of a positive start from the attack there, couple of trades going back and forth. They got that map control up mid, which was their, initial goal, but they just got crunched there towards that B side, and unfortunately didn't check their corners, got punished, so it is going to be another round down, and they did use that from the shadow, so that's another tool gone here. The attackers now going again for this mid control, and they've really liked working up towards top mid rather than pivoting towards A, and we'll see if they can do anything with it.
Again, just not the greatest money to work with, and we haven't really seen them go for a direct side hit, so perhaps you're right, that could be the difference maker. Deep shear actually going to be triggered, so that's at least a little bit of a sound cue given away, but Envy gets taken down on the opposite side. Now they're going for this mid re-clear. A-Star has been playing around with the wall round after round. The stun is perfect, and Helif actually able to find a second kill before Max shuts him down. Really, really impactful information as well. Now they know that there's still 2 more players around. The spike itself, which is rotating towards B, But A-Star has to be the difference maker here towards mid. Has to take this fight. Able to get one kill, but Hoax there immediately for the refrag. And now that's the sound cue given away. They know that the rotation is going to be coming towards this B side.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, 3 kills on the board here. Hoax looking for the 4th. The shadow step
30
straight
seconds
in
left.
behind as well, just to guarantee the position. It's unknown, but Max able to hit one shot. It's not over yet. 1v2 scenario though. Max so low. The flank's coming in. You'd assume it's not winnable, and in fact it isn't. Again though, just excellent team play from ItsMeViko. DUPG just struggling a little bit on their entries.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, the repair in the smoke, like the fact that Hoax was ready for the trade towards A-Star, really just very good positioning coming out of the side of Viko. Of course, team name, a little bit of a tribute to their opponent's coach. I think that's pretty cute, calling your team after somebody else's coach there. But apart from that, yeah, look at this. They finally brought out the big gun. On this map, it's not the operator that's a scary gun, it's the Odin. And Techno has brought it to bear down on the side of DUPG, who have decided to stop messing around the map and just go in for a direct hit. It seems like that's the call. Neon ultimate popped as well. Techno though, ready to go in for this ultimate. Gets the info that all these players are there, but Envy still able to find that first kill. Gets a second as well, and the third. This overdrive is just doing so much work right now. 2v3 situation. One of the players would be off. Not exactly the easiest retake, but Venka makes it look easy, and that pulls out the Viper's Pit.
Yeah, Pit is online. 2v2 scenario here, and it looks like the Dimensional Drift is trying to find their opponents. But A-Star able to find the Vise first. Now Venka's left with it all to do. The Judge is the perfect weapon, and Envy, off the back of that overdrive you were talking about, finds the impact. And it's caught an ultimate for a reason. It was very well used. 6-2 now, and the attackers, they have used 2 big tools, but surely that is going to give them a lot of confidence.
Yeah, they had to invest the Viper's Pit as well once Venka made it a 2v2. A little bit of a expensive investment, I would say, considering that they used multiple ults in that round, including a Nightfall of their own, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it took 3 ults for them to win the round there. They still do have the Steel Garden left in their back pocket, but look at this, 3 ultimates ready to go here for the side of ItsMeViko, still in their back burner. And it seems like A-Star wants to go in for that aggressive mid lurk that he's been doing so far. But for DUPG, I think they realized that going for these heavily padded executes towards sites makes more sense, because they're just going to have the numbers advantage. All of them regrouping now, going to hit B side as a 5, and there's just been no info for ItsMeViko until now.
Well, they're getting a bit of info down mid as well, so that could be a crunch in the end. We'll see how that works out as the Steel Gun is used, but it's not deep enough, and the defense they are able to keep their rifles up. They have lost the member though. 4v5 scenario. We'll see whether or not ItsMeViko can get this retake happening.
Oh my God.
Cleared. Should be good for 2 and is.
LF as well on this flank, trying to find the timing, but it's just not good enough. Rollins and A-Star shut down all of this gameplay, and it's just gonna be Venka and Hoax in the backline. Hoax able to find one, but Venka able to find one, but Hoax not able to clutch out the remaining 1v2. And a third round comes in for DUPG. Again, NV2K with that crucial opening kill, as well as the Steel Garden used to just clear out the side and make sure that NV has the advantage. But note that both of the rounds that DUPG have won have been off the back of these big ultimates. Already you're 8 rounds, 9 rounds in the half, and you might not have enough left in the tank for like one more round of this.
Yeah, it looked like their Techno was expecting the smoke to come down, maybe just caught knife out. Even, obviously the Steel Gun is going to take the rifle away, but didn't even have the weapon out. Wasn't expecting the Neon to be on the site so soon, and that really did open things up and give the advantage. Despite that 2 kill in towards Defender Spawn, it was very difficult to retake that site. So we have seen a bit of a comeback come through here. It's Me Viko now being asked the question, well, you got the ultimates online. When are you going to use them? Unfortunately, HellF is disconnected at the moment, so we do have a little bit of a tech pause. So hopefully that'll get resolved very quickly. It looks like they might be back in the lobby, so we'll see. Hopefully that is just a minor tech pause, and we get straight back into the gameplay. But Zach, I got to say, very impressed with the way the defense have been playing. But I got to say, the attackers adapting, that is something I love to see.
I think that In terms of the attack side, I would say that ItsMeViko definitely has a little bit of an advantage thanks to their comp. I mean, I'm just a fan of double duelist comps in general, so there might be a hint of bias here. But yeah, okay. Some more important corrections, at least for me. It's not D1 Rollins. They prefer Disease, so we're gonna be calling him Disease for the rest of the day. Aside from that, though, I mean, I think that for the side of ItsMeViko, them being able to put up such a huge lead is definitely going to look good, because I think that Corrode does tend to be a map that skews towards that attacking side if played properly. However, the defensive comp here, considering of the Vice, Omen, as well as the Viper, could definitely be a huge difference maker, because you do have so much of defensive utility, denial utility, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's just immovable rock meets up against unbreakable object, whatever that metaphor is. They balance each other out well in theory, but in terms of players, I would say ItsMeViko definitely had the more impressive individual performances.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, this is a team game at the end of the day, and it looks like the support that the Duels have been getting here, especially with NV2K on the entries, has been the main reason they've been able to get these back-to-back rounds. We'll see if they can go 3 in a row. They are contacting up towards this B side. Made a bit of noise with the Prowlers, but hasn't caused too much of a rotate just yet, so they still will have a numbers advantage. But again, we're going to see whether or not they can clear some corners and get onto that side, or if they will pivot back towards mid, which is being very loosely contested here by the attack. But looks like the idea is to go forward.
My blind is dead.
There's no looking back for sure, and forward it is. However, King Kappa, as the anchor on the side, only able to find one before being shut down, and the rest of DUPG able to get on board. That's a lurk shut down, though. Venka, with all the confidence in the world, strikes a star down, which means that they know for a fact that all of the remaining players are going to be towards this side. There is that Neon ultimate available as well. The timing on the swing, good, and the double peak, perfect. However, Hopes gets the 1-for-2 combo. Buy one, get one free here, and ItsMeViko somehow convert that 2v3. They didn't even need any of those ultimates. It's just Hope stepping up huge towards the end of the round.
Yeah, a little bit of a panic there, though, DUPG. I gotta say, time is on your side. The spike is ticking and swinging there. Obviously, they felt the pressure of that gunfight happening, but maybe could have played a little bit slower instead. They got punished. It was some great shooting, as you said, from the Omen, though. Can't really do much about that, but yeah, it just seemed that maybe just getting a bit eager for those frags after seeing that early fight break out. Well played in the end, Hoax. That is just disgusting shooting there in the end. As they now secure the half, 7-3 is the score, but DUPG certainly have a chance of bringing things back to a more even scoreline.
Never say never. That's the hope there. 7-3, 2 more rounds left in the half, and already huge mid push. Hybrid gets the first one. Venka able to get the trade and run away as well. Hopes now looking to fight for dear life, and this is already with the aggressive angle. Narrowly misses out on taking out the Omen on the opposite side, and across the map it is ItsMeViko pushing out, finding the information, finding the frags, and falling back, and just no recourse available for DUPG to even find a single trade.
Yeah, and that's your smokes that are going to go down. So obviously still the Viper, but that wall is only really effective in towards the middle of the map, and losing your Vice as well means that your flank is permanently a threat. So the attackers definitely going to have to try and probably play deeper onto a site if they do want to go for a plant. We'll see whether or not they can find the entry, but Venka has other plans. Venka's just going to stand and deliver to get 3, and King Cap is able to swing across in time. So that is well held. ItsMeViko 8-3, comfortably in the lead now.
Very much so. And I mean, you might even consider the next round. They might consider doing a tactical throw to avoid the so-called 9-3 curse. But so far, at least, it doesn't seem to have been a curse too much in this tournament. Venka's just been such a menace right now. The 1-2 punch finally gets shut down after 3K, but the damage has more than been done and just tucked away into the corner. The contrast here in that round between 3 of ItsMeViko's players pushing through and just one guy holding it down.
Yeah, just quietly, I love this adaptation here from Venka, because he went down, was able to repurchase, buys the outlaw, looking at the team's economy, and you can see immediately getting rewarded for that option. I love that awareness on round 12 to buy the outlaw.
I mean, he knows that the opponent team is not going to really have much in terms of a buy or armor, so it makes sense. Also, the The ultimate here to just clear out NB2K. Very, very nicely done. Disease now looking to find a little bit of space, maybe find a kill or two, but yeah, just surrounded on every single side by enemies. Paranoia, stab in the back, and Techno takes him down. It's all down to Hybrid, a 1v4 to clutch out. Peeks into the fray, and Venka gets the opener, gets the ending, and ends the half with a 9-3 for ItsMeViko. What a lovely round.
Yeah, they are playing some very nice Valorant there. It was a bit back and forth, 9-3. I mean, it's a big deficit, but I gotta say, I think that some of those rounds felt a lot closer than they look on the scoreboard. There's definitely a lot of moments the attackers could have taken something there. DUPG certainly, we can see that they have some sort of, you know, theory around the map on how they wanted to play it. We'll see what their defense does have in store, but I mean, we did say it at the top of the show, didn't we? This is one of the favorites, and they're showing why ItsMeViko so dominant on their opponent's map pick. A 9-3 half to start things off. We'll see if they can close it out.
Gotta go.
Not gonna be a happy day for you if you're a DUPG fan, but if you're cheering for ItsMeViko, yeah, they're definitely having a ball right now. We talked about the double duelist comp. It looks like, again, there's a little bit of red herring to be popped here. They act like they're gonna go in, and in the meantime, look at this, both Venka as well as Hoax taking space on the other side of the map. A-Star, though, tries to get a little bit hasty and actually goes down. NB2K gets that first kill, tries to get a little bit of a counter, and that player dropping has summoned the rotation over for the most part towards the other side. The problem is, with this wall being tripped, you do have to go in for a re-clear. You spot out one player. Dizzy's gonna fall back right now. Has the backup in the form of NB2K, and Venka actually just TPs away. Hoax, though, he's still holding in the corner, and all of a sudden, DUPG, they're even numbers again as Max finds a kill. Venka gets an immediate trade, though, and it's still a 3v2.
Yeah, this is so nice. Depositing Hoax into that slot has allowed the lurk to come through. The A site is completely secure. They're going to do their due diligence, just clearing out yard, but they have all the information as soon as that space is clear to get a pretty free plant on the site. So this is going to be a very tough rotate here, or a tough retake, sorry, for DUPG. A 2v3 scenario, but Venka is playing up ahead. Is he going to be cleared?
Oh,
no,
God.
not in time. Disease unable to clear that corner, and now it's a 3v1.
I was just gonna say, all these fights are isolated, so there's a chance in a world where, you know, you hit your shots, but it starts with hitting, like, you know, clearing all these corners first. Envy trying to do due diligence a little bit too late, and Venka ends the round with another 3K. Last time it was with the Outlaw, this time it was with the... Before that, it was with the Vandal. This time it's with the Ghost. Doesn't matter what gun you give this man. He continues to just pop off here. And again, just the spacing and awareness from ItsMeViko so good throughout this entire round.
Yeah, depositing that omen in towards elbow was all they needed to open up that A site. Very nice timing found on that lurk, walking up and telling him, hey guys, the defense is nowhere to be seen. It's a free A spike plant. So very nicely played again. This time, it's Me Viko to win the pistol round. Can DUPG do what their opponents did to them last time around and win this eco? It'll be a huge slap in the face, and it'll be a big way in. It looks like Max is popping off with the Sheriff. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Okay. Kinda need that kind of hope. But,
wow.
Yeah, just the crunch play, the Sheriff, the Judge, all of those things coming in collection. DUPG stave off that 11th round a little bit longer. They also break the eco here for the side of ItsMeViko. So, yeah, a little bit cocky, I would say, coming out of ItsMeViko to play that way. But luckily this time around, DUPG were ready for the punish. And it's going to give them a little bit more hope. Remember, this is their map pick, so yeah.
Yeah, defense certainly punishing that kind of dry contact play in towards mid. You know, you are right. It was a little bit of a strange one there to contact through that Viper wall on an anti-eco, but, you know, didn't work out in the end, so they will be now forced onto the weaker weapons. 10-4, and are we about to see back-to-back thrifties? What is going on with these entries?
I don't understand. Again, Hella with this Bucky has been so difficult to play against. Hoax, so from above is the assassin of death. And now it's a 1v2 situation. Venka picks up the bangle, picks up the kill, and you were right, you called it. Back-to-back 50s for opposite teams, and it's Me Viko. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. Venka gets the opening kill. Alright, sure, that's your bias that's holding the off. Angle goes down, cool. Hope's getting 2 with the Sheriff is just wild there, and of course, Hella continuing to be such a menace with this Bucky. That was a round that really should not have gone that way, and yeah, it's painful if you're a DUPG fan there.
I mean, Hoax, the hero at the moment, had very, very big impact. You see 13 and 6 at the moment. Currently the fewest deaths in the lobby. Just showing how important that Omen has been, staying alive and getting the clutches when necessary. 11 to 4, and that's a big misplay by Max, getting marked by that horn.
Oh dear.
Go, go, go.
No, not like this. Kappa just sprays him down, and in fact, it's Envy 2K to fall there. Still looking for these mid fights, but King Kappa, just king of mid right now, shutting down everybody, and it's just gonna be 2 players left right now. LF isn't even gonna fall back, knows that the Omen is here, knows that they can go in for the crunch, and Hybrid has so much heavy lifting to do, just cannot win the duels though, and it's almost a flawless as ItsMeViko get to match point. 12 to 4 right now, 1 round standing between them and stealing away their opponent's map pick, and look at this, their ultimate economy is flourishing right now. They're 1 off of Venka's ult, 1 off of Kappa's ult. They are just really charging through.
Yeah, this is just class from them here. I mean, we did see in that a couple of rounds ago, actually, with the anti-eco, the mid play did not work out. But once they had the rifles in hand, it seems like at range, they just are a little bit sharper here on this occasion. 12 to 4 currently is the score. And it's a long way back for DUPG, but I guess it's never over till it's over. We'll see whether or not Venka is going to get anything here. No, he gets punished, but King Kappa responds with 2.
Exactly what you need. Still, mid being held down, Max does have the ultimate. Could be a difference maker. It's Me Viko though, still with the numbers and continuing to push through. 2 players left alive, make that 1.
Beautiful.
And it's just Envy standing between It's Me Viko and this map number 1. Him versus the world. Bucky in hand. What can you really find here? Helef has so much to clear as well, and the Bucky at least might be able to find a little bit of damage onto 1 player, but it's not going to be enough. The crossfire impeccable, and It's Me Viko. They take map number 1, 13 to 4, an absolutely dominant victory. I mean, there were a couple of nice moments coming out of DUPG, but overall, It's Me Viko just seemed like the better team in so many regards.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well. I gotta say, a lot of the isolated fights that were taken by ItsMeViko were kind of working to play their team in towards different areas of the map and get that control, as opposed to, you know, obviously we did see in the first half, DUPG, they were just getting isolated. They were getting picked off and they didn't have any sort of map control. They didn't have any idea of what they wanted to do off of that individual play. So I think that was the difference there. Just, you know, a little bit of lacking contingency plan, I think, from DUPG, but ItsMeViko showing why they are one of the heavyweights in this competition. A big, big statement, 13 to 4 on their opponent's map pick.
100%. It's just devastating for the side of DUPG, and ItsMeViko. They might not have been able to, you know, get everything that they wanted so far, but this time around they are not looking to make the same mistakes. They are just dominating right now, and ItsMeViko are definitely geared up to try and continue that upper bracket run that we were talking about. Only 1 map stands between them and moving on to that semi-final, and it is going to be on their map pick of Haven. So yeah, I mean, definitely all the cards in their favor right now. Everybody's shooting on the top of their mind. You know, the rounds that you could see DUPG win, it was more off the back of ItsMeViko's mistakes than anything, and DUPG were making a lot of their own as well. So many of these rounds would have gone another way if they just checked a corner or something similar. And it feels like a lot of these fundamentals are just stronger for ItsMeViko, especially in this map.
100% agree with you. The fundamentals and punishing the mistakes. That is definitely the key to winning on your opponent's map pick of all things, but just winning any game in general, right? Being able to make sure that as soon as your opponents give you a chance, you take it and you don't look back. And I really feel like that second thrifty in the second half, right? Obviously, we did see the pistol round get flipped both times, but then the back-to-back thrifties just killed any of the momentum DUPG could have found there. So yeah, really well played. ItsMeViko. Very, very impressive, as we do, I believe, have the team summaries ready. So we'll see who was doing the damage in this matchup very, very shortly. But obviously, we can see here It's Me Viko with 10 first kills on the board in, what, 17 rounds? So, yeah, 10-7. Very, very impressive. That is going to give them a lot of confidence there, just winning those early fights and being able to even pull off that amazing clutch that we did see with Hoax. I mean, those open shots,
Yeah,
I'll be
that was
honest,
insane.
were disgusting.
No, it was really disgusting. 2 headshots from a player that's 17 HP that by all means should have gone down. Of light on the horizon for DUPG. They were able to more or less keep up with ItsMeViko. You could see them trying to go for these plays. It's not that they were unprepared. It's just that ItsMeViko were able to counter them in almost every metric possible. And almost in none of these rounds do they actually have an advantage. Sure, the pistol round in the beginning, yes. 1 or 2 of those thrifty rounds, yes. But aside from that, it's just been them constantly struggling to come back from a deficit of a player or 2 lost in the first 10 seconds of the round. And yeah, I mean, the clutch, you mentioned it, it was insane, but I think the biggest telling statistic here is the team ACS numbers, because there's just so much more damage in every single round for the side of ItsMeViko, so that's gotta be painful.
Yeah, 100%, as we will go and check out the leaderboard here, the individual frags, who is doing the damage for each team. We can see the MVPs coming out for each side. It's Max on the Fade and Venka. I mean, that Yoru was just disgusting. We saw the Operator coming out. We saw the Sheriff shots, the Vandal. Any weapon in the Yoru's hands was finding value. 20 and 10 with 5 assists, 313 ACS. Very, very impressive.
I mean, it's the ACS is insane. The first kills, honestly, that's a lower number for Venka than you'd expect, but I think that also has to do with the rest of the team stepping up huge. Like, I mean, sure, you're gonna look at Techno and be like, yo, he only has 8 kills, but it's more a question of how did he get those 8 kills in the first place with how the rest of the team was playing. I think that in particular, Venka and Halef were really piloting their agents very, very well, taking full advantage of the map control, and the rest of the team was just kind of there to back them up when needed. And I mean, consolation for the side of DUPG, they did have some incredible individual rounds. Max was able to step up huge in terms of trades, but yeah, they need to really buck things up big time if they want that map number 2 to have a different result. However, before we head to map number 2, we're going to take a look at the MVP for this one. I'm pretty sure all of us know who it is, but we're going to look at him anyway. It is going to be Venka returning to that duelist role. We saw him playing a couple of weird roles in some previous games in the last tournament that he played, but he is back. He is back to be being the star duelist, and yeah, just insane performance from him overall, whether it's the Outlaw, whether it's the Ghost, whether it's the Vandal, or I think we even saw the Bucky coming through at some point, or the Judge. Just beautiful work.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, you mentioned the Outlaw as well. Round 12, buying the Outlaw. When you have so much cash in the bank, realizing that your opponents are not going to have that money for the full armor was very, very smart play there. And I believe got the first blood and the final kill in that round. So definitely found impact with that purchase. Very, very smart gameplay. But really, I mean, I got to say, just a great team performance on map 1 here from ItsMeViko.
I mean, it's a map that everybody knows how to play. It's a map that I think Haven, despite it being their opponent's map pick, DUPG should be able to, you know, keep things going, and hopefully they can get it to a map 3. But right now, looking at ItsMeViko, I would say that they are completely the ones in charge. They have been controlling the pacing of the round. They've been controlling most of the kills that have been coming through. And I don't want to sound like a glazer here, but just what we saw on Corrode, it's a very bad precedent for the next map unless DUPG are able to make some fundamental changes.
Big questions to answer and big shoes to fill for DUPG. Can they stick it to these Titans in this competition? ItsMeViko, a very, very dominant map 1. Map 2 will be coming up very, very shortly. Stick with us. We'll have more Valorant action right after this short break.
One enemy remaining.
3 kills stealing sight.
30 seconds left. I'm out of here. I face your fear. Spike down B. Die! planted.
Killed them.
Spike planted.
Gotta go. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
My ultimate.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid. One enemy remaining. Spike down B. One enemy remaining. Thrifty.
Obsolete. My ultimate's ready. Bring them down.
One enemy remaining.
Three kill stealing sight.
30 seconds left. I'm out of here. Hi, face your fear. Spike down B. Die! I'm out of here. Spike planted.
Killed them.
Spike planted.
Gotta go. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
My ultimate.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid. One enemy
Back
remaining.
off.
Gaming is massive. Esports is global. From Seoul to Rio de Janeiro. From small bedrooms to massive arenas. From your very first game to your biggest victories. This is our world, our digital city. Millions play, millions watch. A global movement shaped by players, driven by passion, powered by its culture and community.
I am Arminas, head of Reloader. We love gaming. We live esports. Welcome to our venture.
We're Team Reloader. Our mission is simple. Give players what they've always deserved, rewards, respect, and recognition. This isn't just about features, it's about the culture we live and the community we build. Play more. Chase goals. Build your legacy.
Lock, load, and reload. It's reloaded. Things are just starting.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Ascend Breakpoint series. Map 1 has ended. It's Me Viko, a dominant attack and defensive display there on Corrode, walking away with a 13-4 victory on their opponent's map pick. DUPG, a lot of work ahead of them if they want to pull off a reverse sweep in this series. I am K-Man, joined here by Zach. And Zach, it really was just a clinical performance there in Map 1, but it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, it was a lot of good things being done by ItsMeViko and a lot of not so good things being done by DUPG that kind of contributed to the steamroll that the map ended up being. Like you said, there's still hope left. There is still another map to come through, and it's Haven of all maps, which means, you know, both teams do have some experience playing it. At the very least, it's a map that I think everyone's pretty familiar with at some point. I do think that it was very difficult for DUPG to, you know, get themselves in good positions for most of this first map. So hopefully that's an issue that they can kind of alleviate in the second one.
Yeah, 100%. I do agree with you. I think, you know, maybe there was a couple of discipline issues here and there, and a couple of those close rounds. If they had just waited a couple more seconds, swung together, we could have seen some different results in those matches for sure. But, you know, even though that's a negative looking at the map result, it is a positive for them to take through into this second map going, we have positions, we can win rounds. We just got to do it this time around.
100%. I think a lot of those rounds were also just isolated kills being caught off by the side of ItsMeViko and just no trades to come through. So hopefully they're able to fix this. That said, I mean, I'm excited to see what agent compositions we have for Haven. There's been a lot of flexibility when it comes to this map in the recent meta. So let's see what agents both of these teams are going to be picking as we head into map number 2 of this upper quarter final. Looking at ItsMeViko, I mean, they've been swapping around roles for the last few events. This time around, it seems like they finally settled down Techno on the smokes here instead of the Fade. Hoke switching over from the Omen to the Sova. Kappa continuing to reprise the Sentinel role. I think the only guy who's continuing to play not even the same agent, but the same kind of agent from the previous map, aside from the Duelist. And yeah, double Duelist once again here for ItsMeViko. DUPG, though, on the other hand, they are opting for a similar comp, except that they're going for the double initiator route instead, the Breach and Sova, a very common combo seen on this map, and it can be devastating, especially if you have your positioning and plays right. Let's see if DUPG can come back. NV2K just looks locked in at this point, and Techno is just vibing. Two different auras.
100%. I like the Neon and Breach combination, though. As I was saying, you know, as I've said in the past, it is a tried and tested and proven strategy here that does work. The combination can be good, but it needs to be done on the back of some speed here, and it looks like King Kappa is going to be up against it early on here. The recon bolt gets the reveal, the information comes through, and it's NV2K opening things up.
Ooh, NV2K with 3 kills right now. Again, just a very clean showing to come through, and almost flawless pistol round. At least so Hope's able to deny. The flawless there runs out of bullets though, and Disease is the one to shut it down. DUPG, they start off with a pistol win, similar to the previous map. Let's hope this time they can convert their anti-eco buy. Let's talking about the buy here. Yeah, opponent side, I'm already terrified seeing the judge coming in from Hell. Oh dear.
I mean, yeah, this is the question, right? Can they make up for the mistakes of last map and convert this anti-eco after the pistol round?
Yes.
That is going to be the question. If they can do it, they put themselves in a great spot to build a lead in this first half. We'll see whether or not they are able to. It looks like there will be a short little tech pause going in through. So hopefully that issue gets resolved fairly quickly. But yeah, that was very nicely played. The entry coming through from the Neon off the back of the recon bolt not being broken, I think was a major catalyst for the attackers getting that success, able to find both defenders and take them out pretty swiftly. So a great start for DUPG, and it's great to see that even though it was, you know, a very one-sided affair on map 1, they are still playing confident. Their Duelist is going to trust their ability at the entries, and they're really going to give this a good red-hot crack. As we will see, hopefully, like we said, that tech pause is only very short, and we should be getting into gameplay hopefully fairly soon. But yeah, not too much to break down. Obviously, the pistol round came through, C-Long got hit, and the Neon opened things up. So a very solid opener for DUPG, and ItsMeViko will now have to reply.
I mean, the buy. I see the Bucky. I'm gonna put some stomps on the players from ItsMeViko. But yeah, on this defensive side might not be the most useful gun, you could say. Either way, though, I mean, you've got just a little bit of a default play coming in for the side of ItsMeViko. Quick rotation towards C, though. They hear all this noise coming in, and yeah, it seems like DUPG have learned from their mistakes. They're not going to be making the same ones as the last map, including playing split when you have the guns available in your back pocket. Ooh, actually, you're going to be able to dodge that recon bolt, and Venka going to be caught towards backside. But Bucky versus Bucky, it is going to be one of these players to come out on top. It's going to be DUPG's side, and Venka with the trigger discipline looking to find a little bit more damage if possible, but just not able to hit the shots. Envy with another 3K to bring this round to DUPG. They keep 3 players alive as well, which means they're going to be keeping most of these guns.
Yeah, kept it pretty clean there, as you say. C-site hit twice in a row, and it's worked out very, very nicely for DUPG. Very, very unfortunate towards backside there. I mean, you can respect the trigger discipline, but unfortunately only good for the one. Unable to do too much more damage than that. So it is a pretty clean start to the match. One that, you know, we've seen plenty of times. The attackers able to convert that anti-eco and head into a pretty strong bonus. Although I've got to say, with a couple of those players going down, those sheriffs online, there is certainly a degree of range advantage for the defense, but Envy is trying to get rid of that range altogether and just send it on this Neon.
They've been running it down for sure, but this time around, Envy goes a little bit too far, a little bit too untraded, and it's DUPG to be on the back foot in terms of these numbers. The dark cover comes down towards V as well, so that's an area of the map that they can't really exploit, especially with Venka having rotated around here. They cut noise, though, and look to go in for the garage to see hit, perhaps. They spot out King Kappa. The flash hits, but still do have the Omen ready to go in for the re-swing. Now, it looks like they want to reconverge towards this B hit. They still have a decent amount of time left on the clock. And oh my god, Helluff gets taken down. That's the Vandal delivered into the hands of these players. Kappa at least able to find a refrag right now, but Max needs to get another one. This time around, the Techno is going to be the one to come out on top. The Paranoia, perfect. The dark cover comes down, and Venka trying to make this a pinch for the 2 players left outside. Hoax hits as well, and it's just going to be the Sova left alive. A-Star, Viper last map. Sova this one just has to try and make a play out of the smoke, and it's Kappa to shut him down. The Cypher for 3 on the round, and a flawless defense almost for ItsMeViko, only losing 1 player.
I love the way that ItsMeViko played that, to be honest with you. It got a little bit dicey there. The mid pressure obviously was immense. Envy got all that space in garage, but they just slowed it down. They didn't panic. They just played back, held the line, and then they slowly but surely took that space back in towards garage together. So I love the way they played as a team there on the defense, and they really were able to bring it together in the end. 2-1 is the score. DUPG unable to even get the spike plant there is going to mean that their economy is going to be a little weak, but good enough to still purchase full rifles into this one. 2-1 the score, and Venka been a little quiet in the opening few rounds, but is here to play with the first blood.
Gets the first blood, gets another one as well to boot. At least Rose is able to get a trade, but all of these angles being held, just crosshair placement perfect right now. And yeah, Hybrid versus Techno, not even able to get a bullet in before he falls, and ItsMeViko, 4 players left alive, even up the score line. I do think that's going to be the breakage of the economy as well for the side of DUPG, because that was their buy round after the bonus, and it didn't really go as planned, so that's going to make things a little bit more challenging for sure.
I gotta say, that was looking a little Corrode-like there. Just those isolated picks, right? There was just so many individual fights being taken, and there wasn't really any sort of contingency plan off the back of it. Really do hope DUPG do have something else lined up in store for us on this attack half. Otherwise, we could be seeing another clean sweep in a series.
I'm out of here.
Could very well be a clean sweep. Now you got Venka with the Outlaw. Full armor might be there for A-Star, but it's not going to be enough to find the kill as both shots connect right now. You also have Kappa tucked away into the corner. Just this conditioning that's consistently being done. You go for the peak, you go aggressive, and there's always a second line of entry. Max, though, continues to be a menace. The MVP on the last map.
I was going to say, Hoke just walking down, disrespecting that cage is so important here, and should be a free kill. There it is. That is excellently played. Sorry to cut you off there, but I was just saying that team play was phenomenal, and we will see numbers advantage again to ItsMeViko.
No, I think that was a great point that you made, Hoax. Just being able to get that kill off the back of the paranoia helps. And now the oh my god, Venka with the 3K, Kappa chiming in for the last kill. I feel like Venka would have gotten the spray down ultimately, but yeah, these kind of 1-2 headshots are nutty, man. We saw from Hoax in the previous map, we saw from Venka in this one. Yeesh.
Yeah, that is excellent team play there, and yeah, that spray down is just perfection, as you say. 2 to 3 now is the score, and DUPG, they had all the answers early on in that pistol. The entries were coming through, but they have been halted on their momentum ever since. 3 in a row for ItsMeViko. Can DUPG slow down this aggression? That is going to be the question, as they are looking to go in towards mid. They're looking to challenge this mid fight, and well, this time ItsMeViko are not giving it to them.
Yeah, they are not going to give it up for free. Hunter's Fury popped as well. Overdrive this time continues to wreak havoc as NV2K finally gets shut down. 2 kills for the trade though, and Helef already on the back flank here, looking to get the damage. At least in exchange, DUPG have gotten control of the site. They're able to get the spike down, and 1 more kill means they'll have this neural theft ready to use. It's going to be so important for Max to win out this duel here. It does seem like, though, with just the Sheriff in hand, he's going to have to fall back and try to play with his teammate, or maybe play under Heaven. You got this flank coming through as well. Elif gets spotted out. Oh, Disease actually gets the kill, though. He's going to be able to get a gun back, so that's a 1v2 that we're looking at. Unless, of course, Venka just stops him in his tracks. Another 3K for the Jet, and a successful retake here for ItsMeViko. I mean, nice try from DUPG for sure, but at the end, it was definitely Viko coming up all spades.
Yeah, that flank up towards A there. When the Hunter's Fury was used, obviously A-Star was looking to try and assist Envy, who was so deep in towards A link. But as soon as he popped the Hunter's Fury, the flank came through up in towards A lobby. And they kind of made the entire post plan very, very awkward, as they were trying to search for Helef on that flank the entire time. They kind of got isolated in the end, but as you say, Venka playing phenomenal as well. Envy and Venka on 8 kills apiece, to be fair to them both. They're playing very, very nicely on the duelist roles, but the defense at the moment seem to have the answers. 4-2 the current score, and it looks like it's going to be another heavy contact play in towards A, but this time Max is watching for that flank.
He's watching, and he catches it. You know, we saw him do the same thing on the Fade the last map towards mid. This time around, they really are going to be able to benefit off the back of that neural theft, at least getting the positions perfectly down. Venka barely getting away with his life, though. And the Hunter's Fury actually going to buy enough time for the plan to get denied. 4v5 right now. Numbers in favor of DUPG. Make that a 3v5, and then we get another kill. Once the post plant has been settled down, all these players are able to pop off. But now, in this 2v3, they know the position of at least 2 of these players from DUPG. It's Me Viko, of course. Both players spotted, both players know right now. It's going to be so difficult for them to get down from this angle. You could possibly spam through this player, though. Unfortunately, it's A-Star the one to find the kills instead. And now in this 1v3, yeah, Hulk's just saying, all right, time to save, time to maybe get an exit or 2, and DUPG, they find another round.
Yeah, we'll see whether or not they can do any more damage here, Hoax, but I think the time is going to be the issue, as it looks like the defense are just looking to try and get some more picks. Hoax, to be fair, is shooting, getting 3, but Max cleans things up in the end. 4-3 is the score, and I'll tell you what, I actually love the way that Max has played that, because if you actually found the timing up through mid, you might have seen it on the map during the post plan. Had walked all the way through the B site, but instead of flanking 2 players heavily in a round that was pretty much guaranteed by that point, he instead goes back towards the site, so they are actually unaware of how active that lurk was, and potentially, now that that knowledge has not been given up, we could see the attackers have some sort of success with that flank later in the half.
I think that's a really great point. Yeah, just not giving away any clues as to how this plays. However, it's a little bit devastating for DUPG, because even though that's a round that they won, it's a very Pyrrhic victory. They lost all of their players, weren't able to save the op either, and it's Me Viko, after winning 4 rounds in a row, they have more than enough money to reinvest in the operator. However, Hoax gets spotted out early, does get tagged up by the drone, forced off the angle. And off the back of that, they're starting to find some space on this A side, but there's also been this additional rotation towards this A side by the players from ItsMeViko.
Rotates are coming in, and a little dink there from Techno as well. Hell gonna finish things off, but goes forward and gets punished. A-Star traded out though as well, and it's another one of those bloodbaths that we've seen so often. And again, it's gonna be ItsMeViko to walk away with the numbers.
One of the players is very low. Techno with a sliver of HP. It looks like they still want to work this A side. They might have heard the shadowed steps, so they might expect Techno up this elevator angle. The problem is there's another player here as well, and they haven't really seen him come through yet. Techno gets shut down here, but Hoax in the corner looking to be a menace right now, buying time for the rotation to come in. All he has to do is really stay alive, but he can't do that for too much longer. 2v2 situation right now. Venka with the operator, not the best gun to have in the situation, but he has an advanced positioning right now. Might be able to find the kill, takes out the breach ult, and it's all up to Max. Sliver of HP, nothing much that he can really do here, caught between two angles in the open, and it's another defuse for ItsMeViko.
Team Ace.
That was scary.
Yeah, Venka, I gotta say, played that so well there. Great teamwork, and this time it wasn't utility there, it was noise. King Kappa just stomping through a link there to give off the presence of the players still rotating in off B site towards A. Allowed Venka, who actually got the timing on the Cypher Cage, to get through towards back site. You could see Hybrid was set up to use that Rolling Thunder and deny the entry altogether. Util in hand, caught out, and there's a free pick towards Venka. 5-3, ItsMeViko. They've been impressive all series, and they're continuing to dominate here on Haven. Their own map pick. 5 of the last 6 rounds going in their favor.
I'm out of here.
Exactly what you want to see if you're a fan of ItsMeViko. Once again, not the greatest buy here for DUPG, but I mean, NV2K, he's been able to chain together a couple of multi-kills, make things look easy for his team. However, this time around, without the guns, it's going to be much more hard for him to do the same. Again, ItsMeViko happy to play a little bit fast and loose on this A side. Last round, they had 3 players. The rotations have been so quick coming in from this team. Let's see if they can pull off a little bit more. Omenel's going to be invested as well in this round. And here comes the breach ult, but the problem is that Venka, he walked into it. That's rough. He's going to be able to dash out of sight, but it's still going to be Hoax to find that first kill. Envy, though, a cheeky little counter trade to come through, and what a Hunter's Fury. It's going to catch so many people. Hoax just doing so much damage right now. 2 players tagged up off the back of it, and you still have King Kappa looking to be an absolute menace. Gets one, gets the second. It's just down to the open right now in the 1v2. Not even going to be able to get the gun or the spike. Hoax with the off angle shuts him down, and ItsMeViko. That's 6 out of 7 rounds that they've gotten.
That is a very good defense put up there. The Hunter's Fury getting the job done, as you said, did so much damage. They're even tagging the open up, I believe, as the Shadow Step was used out of heaven. But I'll tell you what, that could have gone very differently had that pick came through over towards the Jet on backside. Venka heard the from the shadows. It was in towards heaven, but because Venka had the operator was holding the line, wasn't too sure where that open actually was, and had to jump off the line. So that could have gone very poorly, as I said, but in the end, bailed out by more great team utility. ItsMeViko, 6-3 in the lead. Can they find the 7th early here and then start to really pile on the pain?
It's gonna be just what they need to keep the momentum going. A similarity to Corrode, that was also a 9-3 half, if I'm not wrong. Let's see if they can continue to find that to be the case. NV2K again caught in the open, just completely shut down. And whenever you see these untreated kills come through, it is often a sign that it's around that ItsMeViko are gonna be able to convert. Max, though, has to be the hero. This time around, Techno gonna be the one to hold and stop him in his tracks. Just so little space that they're even able to take A-Star in the open, trying to find something, but it's just gonna be hella with the push to find Hybrid instead. Distraction and reaction, it is the perfect combination right now. At least he's able to get 1 kill for himself, denying the Flawless, but yeah, now they know exactly where he is, and they're not afraid to push up.
Yeah, indeed. 6-3 currently is the score. Defense looking very strong. We do see the operator getting that final pick as well. I gotta say, though, that was a little bit messy in towards Garage. Obviously, the Neon attempting to go in there, but the fault line missed, and I think that was the real key to why that entire round failed. Had the shotgun, wanted to get up close, the fault line not finding the mark with just the 3-1 tap of Techno, who then really stepped up in this round, hell up as well, getting a nice double kill. But yeah, NV2K, I know we did say caught out in the open there, not much going on, but that fault line missing was why the Neon was unable to find any value.
I'm out of here.
I think that could definitely be a factor. I mean, the utility combos, there's no guarantee sometimes that they will hit. Neon once again, scaling up this A line very quickly. Oh no, not a jump beacon. Venka quick for the punish. Again, not the greatest economy. I think Max was one of the few players who had some kind of investment in that round, and he just gets brutally shut down again. Hella happy to explore this B angle and happy to go in for these kills. Men got out with all the confidence in the world. These two duelists just completely ready for the punish. At least Mika gets shut down, but it's very little consolation as it's an 8th round on the board for ItsMeViko, and they're even able to save the off gear, man. Like, that's just icing on the cake.
I gotta say, if Envy hit that wall flash, that would have been the most disgusting shot of the tournament by far with that operator in the end. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just that aggression that isn't being watched for here. The defense able to pivot so quickly, and you can see on both sides there. I mean, that shot was so close to landing as well for Envy 2K, but I suppose that is just showing, you know, kind of what's happening in this game, right? There's so many situations yet again, like we saw in Corrode, where they had the answers in front of them. They just were not able to react in time and get the job done. 8-3 currently the score. Are we going to see a repeat scoreline from Corrode?
Does seem likely. However, A side, it's still looking pretty vulnerable. The drone gets broken as well. You've still got the shock dart. You've got these cyber cages to play off of, and you have Cypher tucked away into the corner. The kill trip on the side. He gets the collapse as well. A short in hand almost gets a 3K, but finally gets shut down. The problem is the damage has been done here. 3v4 situation. Sure, you've gotten the Cypher to go down, but now here comes the Neon ults on the flank. All the corners being checked, every angle being cleared, and just a retake that gives no time for DUPG to get their post plan set up. Again, these flanks and these pushes from Elef have been so impactful throughout this entire half.
I gotta say, ItsMeViko, that looked like a training run right there on that retake. They've done that before. That has been drilled out. So well done there. All the utility landing. I mean, it started here with King Kappa, of course. Lovely kill trip on the Cypher. Love seeing me some good Cypher setups. It's always very, very satisfying to watch, but yeah, that is just such a clean retake as the rest of the round came through. The Neon in towards short, not cleared and dealt with, and a free pick over towards Hybrid, who was pinged up by the drone. So, I mean, it really was just an absolute symphony to watch. It was beautiful. ItsMeViko simply outplaying their opponents there on the defense, but DUPG, they've got to try to hold their heads high. They've got to dig deep. I mean, it's a best of 3. You're down a map. There is no more second chances. What have they got for us here on their defense?
Remains to be seen. It's a must-win pistol round if they want to avoid, you know, just being shut down completely. To their credit, they have won 2 out of the 3 pistols so far, so it's not entirely awful. Chance at a 4th one as well, as Envy once again finds the opening kill here. Rest of the team ready to flood in off the back of that. Gonna tap the spike, trying to bait out some of the positions, but look at this. It is going to be a quick pivot over towards by the spike towards the C side instead, but Envy already has the flank available. It is a CT plant. No tripwire either to give away this. It's just gonna have to be the contact play, and despite the stun going through, Envy still finds that kill. A 3v5 right now. Multiple players coming in on the retake. At the very least, the sheriff shot, it doesn't connect, but Envy gets a 3K instead, and it's just gonna be Svenka versus the world. Makes it a 1v2. The problem is the spike is not in his favor, and already the defuse has just come through. The run and gun on the ghost to end things, and DUPG, they bring a 4th round. Suddenly things don't look so hopeless.
I mean, I gotta say, it looks like they found the answer. Just buy a ghost on your Neon. I mean, that seems to be the answer. 2 3Ks in both pistol rounds there. NV2K excellently played, and I love the idea there, stacking up towards that A site, ready for the fight there early on in the round, but because instead it was the Cypher lurk, they just knew they had the numbers, they were willing to push up, get the pick, and that was a very early numbers advantage established. So defense, it looks like, I gotta say, DUPG, their pistol range strategies have definitely been drilled and really look solid. It's just these next few rounds where we're seeing them get into the rifles, and when things slow down a bit, that is where we need to see a bit more of a development here in the rest of this match.
Again, just not the greatest buy this time. No, I don't see a Bucky in the hands of ItsMeViko. They're just looking to push towards the C side. The problem is that even if there's nobody home, there is going to be a lot of util there, and Helef looks to get a little bit aggressive, but gets punished thanks to Max's presence. 4v5 situation, and just so much delaying utility, keeping them from getting that spike down in the first place. The smoke lets them get onto side as well, and the recon good enough to try and find the kills off of Hybrid with 2 of his own. 2v make that 1v4 situation. Hopes at least finds the right click on Hybrid, but it's a little bit too late. DUPG, they continue their momentum in this half, win the anti-eco, and do not avoid a repeat of Corrode at the very least.
Yep, they do just that. Couple back-to-back rounds here. Looking very solid. 9-5, the current score now. The lead, only 4, and this is where the 9-3 curse comes in, right? This is where the legend of the 9-3 curse really starts. This bonus round here, you got the 4-round lead. You're still going, you know, guys, it's fine. We got a few rounds to play with. Pistol round doesn't matter. But you lose this round here, that's when the pressure starts turning up. A crucial bonus round coming through for both sides. DUPG need this if they want to have a chance to make the comeback.
Lot to work with, lot to do, and here we go. They really, at least, are able to, you know, get the spike down, but
No?
deny the spike
Run
from
away.
getting down, rather. Yeah, but Envy's still going to be the one to find that first kill. Again, this pivot from B towards C, it's served them well in terms of being able to get the space, but it's Me Viko. They haven't been able to convert a post plant yet. However, that might be the crucial kill. That's the Omen down, which means there's going to be no retake smokes available.
Indeed, they do just have Max with that cyber cage. It's the only smokes available, and it's being used there in towards garage. So they're not going to have that for the defuse at all. It's going to have to be a fight, and it will be A-Star to open things up with the Outlaw. A lovely shot to come through, 4v3. But there's a flank coming through garage as well.
There's a fast lane available though, so they're gonna have to bait out all of this retail. Try to get the spam through. Here comes the flank though. Venka and Kappa between them, shutting things down, bringing things to a 1v1 here. And Kappa happy to find that final kill. Poor Envy with only a sliver of HP could not close it out. But again, I mean, even if it was a round that they needed to win, the result isn't too bad for DUPG because they take down almost every single gun there for Viko. So economy gonna be looking a little bit shaky in the next one.
One enemy remaining.
Indeed.
Last
I mean,
player
look,
standing.
you are right. It's not, you know, the end of the world going down there. When you take 4 rifles away, the economy advantage definitely in the defender's favor. But that is double digits on the board. It's Me Viko now really going to believe they can drive this home. 5 rounds the lead. See whether or not the defense can bounce back. These rifle rounds have been really where we have seen the difference between the teams, and this time it's a judge to be the jury and executioner as well. Hella will go down, but a lurk kill is found.
Yeah, I think so far Kappa has been really good on these lurks since they've gotten the buy, both in the last round as well as this one. His kill last round was what kind of let them pivot. Now, however, it looks like they still want to go towards a side judge in hand. He comes through. 1-for-1 trade, though. That's a little bit unfortunate. He should have done a little bit more. The stun peak is perfect, though, and it's just going to be Venka on site. He gets spotted out as well. Not a good flash, though. And yeah, just again, the isolation of these kills has been incredibly good. Kappa has his ultimate, going to be popping it, and off the back of it, Venka swings. Kappa and Venka between them shut this defense down, and it's such an important round for both these teams. But it's Me Viko. They're gonna be the ones to come out on top. 2 rounds between them and a 2-0.
Yeah, this could be very close to the beginning of the end here. It's Me Viko pulling that one out of nowhere there, and I love the patience by Venka. And again, it's the trust in the teammates that's so impressive for me, Zach. I mean, these players all back each other to get the job done. Venka just played completely patiently there on the site, despite being surrounded, trusted Kappa to be there through short. The pick came through, and they were able to turn that situation around very quickly. It's been very impressive so far, but Max, well, he's not going down without a fight. Swinging hard here, getting the first pick. Will be traded in the end, but it looks like it's a bloodbath.
Oh, the recon was perfect, but it just came in a little bit too late. Hoax, on the other hand, with the Hunter's Fury, causing even more division amongst the site. Already, it was an equal round, but it's Me Viko don't care if they can get to match and series point quick enough. Just a run and gun from Hella, ready to close this out. At least A-Star is going to be able to find 1 sheriff kill, take down his counterpart, but it is very little consolation at 10-5. It's Me Viko, match point, series point, all the money in the world, and it has to be a 7-round streak from DUPG for even the possibility of overtime.
Yeah, this is why I was talking about how crucial that bonus round was, because now you've just allowed the belief to go back into the hands of It's Me Viko. DUPG, unfortunately, we've seen this all series. Very, very competitive in the pistol rounds. The anti-eco is looking pretty alright, but when it's an even playing field, the rifles in hand, It's Me Viko have just been better. As simple as you can put it here. They're going to go in towards the C site yet again. The gamble stack was down mid from the defense, and it looks like it will be a 5v5 retake to decide their fate.
Max needs to get a kill. He does have that neural theft. Hunter's Fury comes through. It's going to be a little bit late as that spike goes down. And we finds a kill in spawn, but counter Hunter's Fury, it's just going to be a 3v2 situation at the end of all of those trades. Sight still in the possession of these players from the attackers, although that Neon ult
One
is huge
enemy
right
remaining.
now. The problem
Last
here
player
is that it's a
standing.
1v1 at the end of it, and so far King Kappa has just been the absolute king of the post plan. DUPG, they're gonna have to take him down. They tap the spike, the camera giving away the sound cue that it's not gonna be a tap here. He has to try and stick at least half of it, but it doesn't matter. Kappa, there for the
Attackers
swing,
win.
there for the headshot, and there to close it out. 13-5. It's gonna be ItsMeViko moving on in this upper bracket, and
One
what a
enemy
dominance
remaining.
showing it
Last
was
player
too.
standing.
Who else other than the king himself, Kappa, to swing out there and deal the final blow in the post plant? What a well-played 1v1 there. The Cypher utility giving all the information. A little pop and swing at the end for the style points. 13-5. I mean, we can say it was an improvement, right? They got an extra round in this map, but it really just never, ever got close. It's Me Viko. I mean, there's a reason why we were told this is one of the favorites in this competition. They have just put the entire tournament on notice with that performance.
100%, and it was just so dominant as well from beginning to end, whether it was Venka being able to find those multi-frags, Helif consistently taking space, Kappa being like not just the perfect anchor on defense, but also the perfect lurk on attack. Just exactly what you want to have from a team here. And I mean, you can say everything, you can say something nice about every single player on this team because everybody had a massive impact for sure.
100%. I mean, there was just layers and layers of support utility. I mean, even their mid-rounding was very, very impressive. Really, really well played. I gotta say, though, DUPG, I mean, you know, credit where it's due. They had a lot of very, very good ideas there. It was the execution that let them down, I think, quite often. And, you know, potentially that's something to work on, something to learn. They got to hit the VODs. They're not out of this tournament yet, right? They got a chance to go to lowers. So we'll see whether or not they can adapt and make those changes on the fly pretty quickly. And for me, it's a bit more of a timing thing. That was the issue for them, right? We saw a lot of the time they were going for those lurk picks to kind of open up the map, but they didn't have any pressure on the other side. So the defense, especially, were able to just hold the line, wait for that lurk to come through before there was any need to rotate. And that kind of was that little timing that I'm talking about, where if they can improve that in their next games, there's certainly a big chance of staying alive in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and also just something as basic as checking your corners, because it felt like so many of these rounds, it was just free kills being given away. They look much better on that second map for sure, but even then, the off angles that were kind of being held by the side of It's Me Viko, again, just very difficult for them to get through. Also, timings on utility, if we're talking about it. It felt like there was a little bit of a miss in a lot of the cases. For example, Breachston's not coming through, Sova Util coming in late. It made things a little bit more difficult for sure for the side of DUPG, but yeah, utility for It's Me Viko. I mean, to be fair, it felt like they didn't even need it most of the time, but especially on Haven, I think that their utility was just phenomenal, especially for Hoax on the Sova. He just had so much impact, not just with his ultimates, but also the recon. So many of the times you saw his teammates just spamming through smokes off the back of his recon, and yeah, it was kind of wild to watch.
Yeah, we may not see Hoax as the MVP, so to speak, on the frags, but I mean, if you're talking about just impact, I think most impactful player of the series there, as you were saying. I mean, fewest deaths on Corrode, had the only clutch of the game, and again, as you said, the Sova utility here was beautiful. I think the Hunter's Fury, every time it was used, got a pick as well, so that is just a very, very well played series from Hoax. Shout out to him, but I mean, shout out to the whole team. 13-4, 13-5. No dramas, no nonsense there from It's Me Viko. It was a very, very clean 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be very happy with that as they move on in the upper bracket. I mean, I think so far, most of the upper finals that we've seen have ended in 2-0s. I think all of them have, in fact. One of them was an FF, so I'm not going to exactly count it. But the other ones have all been 2-0s. So hopefully the next round, the upper semis are going to be looking even more wild as we look at it. Because I think so far, all of these teams have just been a cut above the rest. At least the teams that they've defeated so far. But now that they're going to be converging on each other, it's definitely going to be an absolute banger matchup. I think that It's Me Viko and Asterisk have already faced off just a week ago in the grand final of the Pulsar X WAMer Showdown that we hosted, but there it was Asterisk to come out on top. So I think if we're looking for anything, it's going to be a revenge matchup between these two teams as we head into the upper bracket, because I feel like at least for It's Me Viko, looking at how they were playing today, they have something to say. They have something that they want to say very badly.
I mean, that is going to be a banger matchup. We know how good both of those teams are now from watching them right here, and they're in form. That is going to be a match you do not want to miss for sure. I mean, you know, we talked about the quality of Asterisk on Corrode and Haven, by the way. They played the same maps now And I've got to say, it's going to be a very, very even contest. I'm excited for that one.
100%. Yeah, I think today's game as well, it seems like they've already, improved some of those fundamentals. Also, I think they've stopped kind of switching around team roles. So yeah, everyone's kind of playing what they're supposed to be playing, which definitely helps things a little bit. Yeah, but I mean, for me at least, it's a little bit weird to see Helef on Duelist because I'm so used to seeing this guy on agents like Killjoy and stuff, or as something a little bit more supportive. But I think it's been suiting him well, and he's been like really, really aggressive as well. So yeah, definitely shout out to the Helef Neon. I really enjoyed watching it today, and especially on Haven, right? So many of those rounds, it was just him like running down towards mid, going for those kills, going for those peaks, and just fighting so much damage round after round. I mean, sometimes he got shut down, but most of the time, especially after the rest of the team, it was like constantly ItsMeViko were like drawing a net around the side of DUPG and just closing it in on that defensive side. It looked more like they were the ones on attack.
100%. I mean, and that mid control is so important when you have a double duelist, right? Because you don't have that, that stalling power out with the Sentinels traditionally. You don't have the extra layer of smokes. Obviously, we've seen the Viper Omen. You don't have that extra utility, so you got to take space. That's the substitute that you got to make, and they absolutely did it perfectly. But we are ready to head in towards seeing what all the numbers say about this game. We're going to crunch them all for you right now in the Ascend Breakpoint Series upper brackets quarterfinal. 13-5. Pretty comprehensive victory there on Haven. 9 first bloods going the way of ItsMeViko. 9 apiece, in fact. So DUPG, they had a lot of rounds they could have been competitive in there. But at the end of the day, IVK were just simply too good.
100%. I mean, both of these maps, the first kills have been pretty close between these two teams. It was a little bit more dominant on the previous map, but this one, it's a dead-on tie. And I think a lot of that is just the fact that DUPG, it's not that they don't have the aim, it's not that they aren't able to go off head-to-head in terms of just raw aim against the players from ItsMeViko. It's just that the fundamentals seemed a little bit better, and the set plays were very clean coming in from ItsMeViko. It felt like constantly DUPG were forced to adapt, and it didn't really look like they were comfortable playing from that position. The gap in the team ACs between the two teams is a little bit narrower, I would say. But yeah, let's take a look at the player summaries to see what it looks like, because I want to see who is going to be top frog and by how much, because all of that game, it felt pretty close. And I don't know if it's going to be Venka or somebody else. It's going to be Kappa to come out on top. Yeah, it's going to be Kappa with the Cypher as the MVP here for ItsMeViko. And honestly, we talked about his defensive setup a little bit, but on attack, this guy was such a menace. What a rat. And I say that with all due respect, but what a rat.
Now, listen, mate, as a Cypher player, we take that as a compliment. You call us a rat, we know that we're doing our job. So, you know what? 22-8, phenomenal play, as you say. I mean, even the setups, right? The kill trips in, that one round in particular, I think you got 3 kills, if I'm not mistaken, on the A site there. The kill trips were beautiful. Slowing down the Neon is just such a crucial part of the Cypher, being able to take out that Neon, the dash in towards backside. If you can stop that, you make it so much harder for the rest of the team to get into the map. So yeah, huge shout out. And as you said, on attack, the lurks, just finding timings here and there. I got to say as well, Max did, had a solid effort there. Position-wise, probably was in the right spot, just couldn't win those angels, as you were saying, just not quite going their way at times in that match. But we are ready to see who our MVP is of this map as well. We're going to go ahead and do that right now. And obviously, it was the Cypher. It was Kappa, 22-8. 3 first bloods as well in the Cypher, and 2 clutches, including the final kill to win the series.
Yeah, I mean, the clutches as well. Most of the time, this guy was on lurk. He was finding the mid pick, but towards post splash, it was always him and Venka just ready to play off of each other. In fact, him and Venka both had a lot of nice rounds in terms of dual chemistry, in terms of being able to bring things back from the brink once things went wrong, at least for his team, as far as they went in this map. So yeah, Kappa, really insane gameplay, really nice in the clutch as well, very dependable in the trades, as well as being able to find that final headshot. And the fact that he was able to get the final kill, it's almost like a crowning glory, I would say, for the series. He's going to be feeling very happy about himself. And yeah, I mean, overall, just if you look at the players as well, I mean, you have some individuals for the side, for their opponents standing out here. Dubs did have some good players. DUPG did have some good players to come out and stand up tall. But overall, I mean, if you look at it, player versus player, everybody on the side of ItsMeViko definitely were the ones to pop off today. And they look so consistent on both of these maps. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how that upper bracket is going to shape up as we head into it. But any closing thoughts for us today, Kayman?
I think we've summed it up pretty well here. The bracket is now done on our first round. We've seen all 8 teams play. And, I mean, it really is going to be very, very interesting to see who comes out on top. We've seen, obviously, the Red Syndicate. And I believe Asterisk, we did see play yesterday, getting those wins, going through the upper bracket. It's Me Viko today going to match up against it. I mean, that is 3 very, very high-quality teams there in the winners bracket. And, I mean, the upper semi-final is going to be an absolute banger. In the lower bracket, though, I mean, we're seeing all these teams that we're talking about need to improve. Whoever steps up is going to make a very deep run in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I do think so. I hope that they're able to find their footing because so far, I mean, to be fair, they've been going up against most of the players who compete in the South Asia scene in the main tournament. So it's understandable that it can be a little bit more difficult. But yeah, they need to buck up big time if they want to have a chance of not just making a deep run, but also coming away with some prize money. But, you know, that's a matter for another day. We have like a whole week of games coming up. So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the Twitter, whatever. You know, we're going to be posting updates regularly to Instagram as well. I think everything's in the description. That's going to be it from me and K-Man for today, though. And we will be back with some more games and more action for you tomorrow at the Ascend Breakpoint Championship powered by Reloader. But at least for today, that's going to be the end. So I'm going to say goodbye here and see you again on another day.
One enemy remaining.
3 kills stealing sight.
30 seconds left.
I'm out of here.
Face your fear! Spike down B.
Die! I'm out of here.
Spike planted.
Killed that.
Spike planted.